مشاهدينا في كل مكان، بنستكمل معكم النهارده حديثنا مع سعادة السفير أوبت أكوا، سفير جمهورية غانا لدى جمهورية مصر العربية. Your Excellency, thank you so much for this interview also to continue about our talking about the Egyptian and Ghana's relations.
Thank you. Thank you.
The Egyptian and Ghana's relations are long time in history ago. Can you tell us more about these relations starting from the 1957 until now? How did the two countries develop this relations?
Well, thank you very much once again. The relations between Ghana and Egypt were developed on the basis of common understanding and common values in as far as nation building is concerned. Ghana and Egypt believed that Africa needed to be liberated so that we can have a continent free of colonialism and develop for our own destiny. And therefore the two presidents, President Abdel Nasser, President Kwame Nkrumah, actively pursued the agenda of African unity. They were very active in providing support to the countries that were then under colonial rule. And in fact, the first president of Ghana, on attainment of our independence, did say that the independence of Ghana was meaningless unless it was linked up with the total liberation of the African continent. And I believe this is also a principle that President Abdel Nasser believed in. So they were very, very active. That formed the foundation of that spirit of cooperation. Embassies were established in each other's country. And since then, we've been engaged in establishing trade relations, investment relations, particularly in the field of agriculture, in the field of tourism. Egypt, as I've already mentioned earlier on, is a country that goes way back into history, thousands of years. And this is a country that attracts tourists year-round, and therefore Ghana has a lot to learn from tourism. Then the mineral exploitation also is something that we're learning from Egypt. And on the whole, I think that the relationship has been very fruitful, and it is my intention during my tenure as the ambassador of Ghana to Egypt to pursue this agenda in all fronts, and also on the cultural front, because the culture constitutes the soft power of diplomacy. But at the same time also, it contributes to national growth and development and create that enabling environment within which businesses can take place. So I intend as ambassador to pursue that cultural exchanges and ensure that it is deepened more and more.
If you allow me, Your Excellency, let's start from now by talking more about Ghana, and to let all the Egyptian companies and businessmen to know more about what Ghana have, so we can invest more over there or attract what the Egyptian will need here in this market. So if you allow me, Your Excellency, let's start backward to talk about the trading, for example. We know already there is trading between Ghana and Egypt in the field of agriculture, in some product like cocoa, like Your Excellency said before, and also wood, wood investment, something like this. So can you tell us more about the fields that we can invest in the future in it?
Yeah. Okay, before I go directly to that question, let me just lay a certain foundation about the tenets of our development, the agenda. What are the principles and the objectives that we intend to achieve? I think the first one is that Ghana, because it's an agricultural country, we would like to have a modernized agriculture. which will feed our people and also export. Then secondly, we intend that infrastructure should be developed to the highest level. It is also the intention of the government of Ghana to ensure that we leverage all the benefits of technology, ICT. It is also the intention of Ghana to ensure integration of our country within the West African region and beyond. And thankfully, through the support of the Egyptian government, the headquarters of the Continental Free Trade Area has been established in Ghana, and we want to ride on the back of this excellent institution to establish closer trading relations with all countries, including Egypt. All these, I believe, will lead to the creation of jobs, employment for the youth, and it will be a win-win situation for both Ghana and for Egypt. So now coming to specifics. Ghana is an agricultural country, so we are open for investment in agriculture.
Do Your Excellency already have any cooperation between your country and Egypt in the field of the agricultural science itself and the new technologies that we already are having here in Egypt and we can import it to Ghana?
Yes, we do. You know, quite a number of Egyptian companies operate in Ghana. And talking about infrastructure, for instance, the Arab contractors are in Ghana. They are doing a great job. We have Egyptian Airways flies virtually.
Without mentioning a name of any company,
Yeah.
it means that you already have Egyptian company that invests already in Ghana.
Precisely.
In the field of agriculture.
In the field of
especially.
agriculture, in the field of infrastructure development, in the field of mining, construction, you know, all of that. So the doors
Can you
are
have
open.
a number of this kind of investment, or it's not quite?
Well, I know that
Big
the figures tend to shift, you know, year on year. But on the average, since I came, I think annually about $200 million is traded from the Ghana side. But the Egyptian side is even higher to Ghana. And we intend to increase this trading partnership. We have established some working relations with the investors here in Egypt. We have a business community, business setup that does business between Egypt and Africa in general, you know, other African countries. We intend to deepen that kind of cooperation with them to ensure that these avenues that I've mentioned, agriculture, infrastructure, mining, ICT, etc., are developed for our mutual benefit. Most importantly, the issue of culture and tourism is an area that is also open for investment, because Egypt, as you know, contains about 7 or more of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The least, of course, we can talk about is the pyramids. Very obvious. Everybody comes to look at the pyramids. Only yesterday I was there. Then we've got your various sites in Aswan, Sharm el-Sheikh, Sukna, and other places. Luxor, Alexandria, Port Said.
Seems like Your Excellency already moved a lot in Egypt.
Yes, I have. Port Said, El Alamein, I've been there also. So these areas, we intend to replicate some of them in Ghana and also open the avenue for potential investors to come over to Ghana and do business. The Ghanaian people are business friendly, they are entrepreneurial, hardworking, very warm and hospitable.
Cooperation in the field of education, because of course to build a country you have to build the people's mind, not only the base of the country. So is there any cooperation in the field of education between Egypt and Ghana?
Very much so.
Opinion?
Yes, very much so. The first thing to establish is that both countries, Egypt and Ghana, believe in the SDG, especially number 4, which talks about sustainable education for the citizens. And I've read your strategic development plan for 2030, and in it I see the opportunities that are available, especially at the tertiary level and also at the research level. And we are thankful to the Egyptian government for the various offers that they grant to Ghanaian students for tertiary education, for professional training, particularly say in agric, irrigation, technology, and many others. We intend to share also our knowledge about what we do in Ghana, so that again it will be a win-win situation for all of us.
If we talk about again about Egypt, and you're sitting here in Egypt, can you Excellency tell us what is the most beautiful historical places that you already visited in Egypt, and you really like it, and you, of course, you would call it for anyone else to come to Egypt and see it?
Wow. I've already mentioned some of them, but let me go through them again. I live around the 6th October city, which is close to the Giza pyramids. And the interesting thing is that on daily basis, when I'm driving to this chancellery, I see the pyramids. And as I go back, I see the pyramids. So you can multiply that by the number of months I stayed here. I've seen it, and I've been physically there several times. So that is one that I would like to say anybody who wants to come to Egypt must, of course, first and foremost, visit the pyramids. But beyond that, Luxor contains wonderful artifacts, also dating back 5,000 years ago. Then Sharm el-Sheikh, where this recent COP27 was held, is also a visitor's paradise. It's beautiful, it's open, spacious, accommodation is good and affordable. So I think that is also one area to go. I've been to other areas, the Suez Canal, Ismailia, I've been to Port Said, I've been to Alexandria, and also El Alamein. One area that I think I have to, and I've not yet done, is Aswan. Aswan, yes. Everybody tells me that if you go to Luxor and you don't go to Aswan, then you have not completed your journey. So
that's right.
So
right.
that is my plan next time to go to.
Especially if you Excellency headed in a cruise, the Nile cruise.
Yes.
It's another experience.
I intend to do that. I intend to do that.
Did you try the Egyptian cuisine, and what's your opinion about it? Is there any similarity between the Egyptian cuisine and the Ghana one?
Well, let me say that my favorite is shawarma.
Shawarma.
Yeah, shawarma. Very nice. But some similarity, especially the way and manner your rice is prepared, is quite similar. But we have got a special way of preparing our rice, either with beans and with some sauce, or what we call the jollof rice, which is rice cooked in sauce, tomato sauce, with other condiments. And that is a favorite of most Ghanaians. I occasionally go to various restaurants here. I will not mention names, but I do go to restaurants occasionally, to taste the Egyptian dishes, and they are first class. We must congratulate the chefs at the various places, because they are experts in producing very good food, which attracts a lot of foreigners and locals as well.
Your Excellency, is there any kind of cooperation in the field of higher education between the two countries?
Yes, indeed, there are quite a number of Ghanaian students who are here pursuing tertiary education and also issues on research. I like to emphasize that the focus and what is really of interest to Ghana is what is referred to as the STEM education: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And we have quite a number of students who are pursuing this particular system. We in Ghana believe that there's a need to transform the educational sector and bring about a set of people who can drive the economy into the future. So we have a new educational system where the government of Ghana, under the president of Ghana, has offered free senior high school, that is like a college, for all citizens. And this has been running over the past 6 years. We intend to use technology as a means of advancing the running of these schools. In addition, I've also learned about your Decent Life program, where you subsidize certain things like food, water, and most importantly, there is an educational component of the Decent Life, which I think you refer to as the Higher Karima. Higher Karima. There is the equivalent in Ghana where free SHS is also, free senior high school is also offered to citizens. But these are the areas that we can learn from each other and exchange of expertise in terms of researchers, in terms of faculty members between your universities here and the universities in Ghana.
But also above all of this, we have also to secure the safe and the safety of the atmosphere of investment and studying and living and everything. It's also something very important to have it, and to, I think, to make a cooperation between Egypt and Ghana to build this kind of trust and safeness that you have for your country.
I agree entirely with you. So far we've been talking academia, but also there's the operational side of it where opportunities are given. For instance, I'm an ex-military, for our military to come and train and learn skills, hone their skills in all fields of our military, and to ensure that we are able to have a safe security environment within which economic activity can take place.
Thank you so much for having us through these 2 episodes, and thank you for talking about Ghana and Egypt and all the relations that we talked about. Thank you so much.
I'm very grateful. Thank you.
مشاهدينا في كل مكان، انتهى معكم لقائنا النهارده. كان في ضيافتنا سعادة السفير أوبت أكوا، سفير جمهورية غانا لدى جمهورية مصر العربية. تحدثنا عن العلاقات الاجتماعية والعلاقات التجارية بين البلدين، وتحدثنا أيضا عن الاستثمارات المستقبلية والواعدة ما بين أيضا البلدين. أتمنى تكونوا اتوفقتوا معنا في حلقة النهارده، واشوفكم على خير الحلقة القادمة، وإلى اللقاء.